Hey, it's Mike Shepard, Acquisto Real Estate. Today, it's Monday morning. We're at TNT. Matt Hilton's our guest speaker. He's a past president of CCAR. Here to kind of give us some updates of what's going on in the real estate industry and what we can do to improve our business.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here with Matt Hilton, and it's a good day because it's a Monday and we got a TNT guest. Thank you, Matt, for joining us. We appreciate that. Your efforts and energy to get here on time were admirable. That is really, really good.
Got here a little early.
Yeah, no, Matt was early. That's always good on a Monday morning to be nice and early. And we're here today, and what we want to do is share and tell you a little bit of who Matt is and allow Matt to give some of his knowledge to us as agents so we understand just a little bit better what he's done and what he's accomplished and how we can all become better. So a quick background, Matt, you're a former CCAR president?
I am.
All right.
2015.
2015. And I believe I was at your, did you get like, are you sworn in? What was there was a ceremony. What do they call that? What's the ceremony?
Just installation.
Installation. Yeah. So when you were installed.
Right.
Okay. So that was really good. I was there at that event, and that was a nice event. It was a bigger pomp and circumstance than I would have thought. It's kind of a big deal.
It kind of is.
Yeah. At the time when you did it, how many members were at the association about?
Oh, well, I think we were about 6,000, maybe 5,500 at the time.
Wow. It just keeps growing all the time.
And it's almost doubled.
Yeah. It's incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
So do you want to peel back the onion a little bit and tell us a little bit about the process to get to the top?
Yeah. So the first process is getting involved. I got my license in 2006, and in 2007, I started getting involved with government affairs and TREPAC, and just that's where my passion still is within politics, and how real estate is much more than just buying and selling. It's advocating on behalf of our clients for property rights and homeowner issues, and so that's what I did. And by getting involved with the committee, I then became a chair of that committee, and that's one of the qualifications of then getting on the board is being a chair first of a committee.
That is correct.
And then after I got on the board, I saw that I really loved leadership. I already knew that about myself, but I wanted to become an officer. That's what happens.
So we've been fortunate enough to have Adam in here as well. So Adam's been a past guest, and he got to tell us all about that type of thing that you do. So that was the area that you like in particular, where kind of Adam would be in charge.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
That's awesome. Is there anything in particular within that subset of property rights or homeowner property rights that you want to advocate for that we should know about?
So I just really want to make sure that you all understand that, and that's one reason I wore the purple Texas here. Great question there. It's because red and blue make purple, right? So that's one of the reasons that I have this particular pin is because as a member of the Government Affairs and TREPAC organization, and that's the Texas Real Estate Political Action Committee, TREPAC. We're neither Democrat nor Republican. Okay. So we are the realtor party. And so we advocate on behalf of property rights and homeowner issues, right? So we don't get into social issues. We don't do any of that type of stuff. So that's one thing that I love about being a part of this organization is being able to provide more value for my clients and let them know, hey, this election's coming up and this is what you need to go vote for so that we no longer have blankety blank.
Okay. That's really good. And so voting is super important, right?
Huge.
I can't believe how few people vote and how, you know what I mean?
So I'll share something with you real quick.
Please do.
So back in 2000 and I believe it was 15, if I'm not mistaken, I ran for city council here not in Frisco, but in McKinney, where I lived at the time. And I was like, okay, I'm president of the CCAR. I'll be able to, hopefully leverage the members, and
I would agree.
There were like 225 members who lived in my particular district.
Okay.
And on a city council local election, a lot of people don't vote,
Correct.
But local politics is where it really happens, right? So I ran. It was a great campaign. I was door knocking, all this stuff. I lost by 19 votes.
Oh my gosh.
I lost by 19 votes. And you
want to know, such a small number.
You want to know how many realtors in my district voted.
How many? Like
22.
Oh wow.
So there were like 200 and some odd realtors who didn't turn out to vote. And so it's like,
wow, less than 10%, like 10% voted.
Yeah.
And you needed 20%.
Yeah. So, it was just one of those things where it's like every vote does matter.
Yes.
It really does. And so,
I agree.
And especially in local politics, maybe not in national politics, electoral college and all that sort of stuff, but locally, get out and vote.
Can I ask who ran against you? Because the reason is because when you're running there and you don't know the people, I think they just vote on the name. And I think you have a really good name.
Yeah.
You're just Matt and Hilton. And it seems to me like I've stayed at a Hilton, whatever.
Heir apparent of the Hilton.
Yeah, I mean, like, why wouldn't I vote for that guy?
No, Rainey Rogers.
Rainey. Mm-hmm. A female?
No.
Oh, see, I thought you lost to a female, and there we go. All right, so Rainey Rogers was a guy,
mm-hmm.
and
he had grown up in the area. I mean, so it's just one of those things that that happens.
But that's a strong name too, Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's it seems to punch you.
Like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Oh wow. No. Wow. That was a really good local election. We had some really good names going on there. All right. So you did that and you served your year. Was there anything in particular that you pushed as your kind of like your agenda when you were president?
I'm so glad you asked that. Yes.
All right.
And y'all, just so you know, we didn't prep.
No, we didn't.
We didn't talk about the purple. We didn't, but Mike knows me well.
Wow.
So,
all right. Tell us.
So one of the things that I did is we wanted to, or what I wanted to do is create a foundation, because I had organized groups to go help with disaster relief.
Okay.
So back in May of 2011, that's when the EF5 tornado hit Joplin, Missouri.
Okay.
And totally devastated that town.
Okay.
And I organized a group. We got supplies and people, and we went up and we helped. And that started a passion of mine of disaster relief response.
Wow.
And so what I found is that a lot of realtors wanted to get involved, but when they donated, it wasn't tax deductible. Not that that's a huge issue, right? But it can be for some people, right? So Mary Lighty, who's the CEO of CCAR, she and I have that same passion. And so we created a foundation. And in December of 2015, right before the end of my presidency year, we created the North Texas Realtors in Action Foundation. And that foundation is part of CCAR. And realtors can donate to that foundation. And what's interesting about that is, if you remember back in December of 2015, there was a tornado that came through Garland and Rowlett that year.
Okay. Yes. So, and it rocked all the roofs.
That's right.
Yes. Okay.
And so 3 days after we got our papers back from the IRS of our foundation, the tornado hit.
Wow.
And so we were like, great timing. Let's go help. So that was our first organized relief effort here locally, was the tornado that hit our neighbors in Garland and Rowlett.
So that's an organized, is it a 501c3? 501c3.
Yeah, 501c3. So you can make those donations. And it's just, so what we do is we get applications. So like anybody maybe that was involved in the recent storms, for the past 3 Sundays, we've had horrible storms roll through the area, right? And so if anybody has fence damage, or they got flooded and maybe they didn't have flood insurance, or whatever the case may be, they can make an application to the North Texas Realtors in Action Foundation and apply for some funds. And we have helped, I don't know how many people, numerous amounts of people in different projects and all that. And it's just really, really neat to know that that's something that I was a part of and helped create.
So that's interesting. So as a company, we, during Cowboy games, during Cowboy season, we have our donation season. And we as a company donate every week that the Cowboys play. We make a prediction for the game on who's going to win. And then we have one of the agents, including Sean and myself, represent each game. And we get in front of the camera and we're like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is who our charity is for the week. And we talk about the charity for the week. We make a donation as a company. So Sean and I donate directly to that charity. So there's 16 football games. So we donate every week, 16 weeks, to local different charities. And the agents can all pick their charity. And this wasn't also rehearsed either, but I'm going to pick you for our charity this time. And we'll make our donation from me. I think I'm the last game of the year. Sean is the first game and I'm in the last game. but I'll make the donation to your charity in your name. So we'll make that, and that'll be good.
Thanks, Mike.
So that'll come out at the end of the year. Yeah, you know, there's just sometimes you have to do the right things, and that just feels right. So I appreciate you helping me through that one and finding me a good charity to help locally. And you know, we have to say why and how and all those things. So now I have a story, and there's truly a reason why. So we'll make that donation. Now tell us, newer agents, that they have to start to get involved. My wife has started this journey of being involved, and I really see the personal development she's made.
That's right.
In giving back, and I also see that she's gotten a lot from it. Right, so it's all worked. When you go into it with an open heart and you want to give,
that's right,
then it seems like you get more back.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit, just talk in general about getting started.
Yeah, so and it's interesting that you say that, because I'm part of a BNI group, and that's part of their philosophy is giver's gain. You know, you go into it not seeing what you can get out of it, but what you can give, right? Yes. And when you go into it with the spirit of giving, you're going to get back. It's just the way things happen. So and that leads into something I wanted to share today that, you know, I typically share with a lot of our agents, is that in your business, you need to be you. You need to be the person that, you know, has your talents, who has your abilities, who has your passion, because you were uniquely made to be the person you are, right? So not everybody's going to be a great open house agent, right? Not everybody's going to be a great listing agent. Not everybody's going to be a great fill in the blank agent, right? So whatever that is, hone in on that and really work within your strengths, right? And I'm huge on working within strengths and not trying to improve your weaknesses.
Okay.
Right. So you can surround yourself with people, as you've done within your group, not saying you're weak in any way.
Yeah, no, a lot
I'm
of
just
them.
saying
I
that
have so many to cover. Like an amazing amount. No, but yes.
But I'm just saying, you surrounded yourself with people that, you know, like the videographer today.
Yes.
Right. So that is her strength. That's what she does really well. So you have her here.
Yes.
Right. So you can't do everything. So find what you're really good at and just do it, right? And be you. So I don't know where it comes from, but, you know, it's said that there's 10,000 hours that you have to put into something before you become an expert.
Yes.
Right. So, and that's true in anything, whether it's playing the piano or being a great realtor and learning your scripts or whatever that is.
Yes.
You've got to put in the work if you want to be an expert.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
That's impressive. And, you know, when we first started, that was really part of it. It was my wife and it was myself. And then when we really understood that we needed to do what we were each best at. And a lot of the time, she'll talk to me about clients and I don't even know their names. I set them up, I get them started, and I just know what I know. And then we move them forward. And I think this month, maybe we're going to set up like 45 client setup appointments for the month between Katie and myself and the friendship division. And we just rely on the agents to go close and do their part. We do our job to attract the business and bring it in, and then they have their job to close. So yeah, my strengths, I have very specific things that I'm good with. And it's really, really helped when we're able to release the things we weren't great with.
That's right. That's right.
That's amazing. So, and I talk a lot about that. Like even with Logan, there's certain things that as a male and a younger male that he is better to do than, you know, my wife. So there's certain things that we have him focus on.
That's right.
So that's really good. What would you say are some of your strengths that you like to focus on?
Wow. So my strengths are, I really believe in the personal relationship. So I love people. So I really believe in getting face to face with people and building those relationships rather than being on the phone. So I'm going to say this too, and this may be something against, you know, the general wisdom that's out there, but a contact is a contact. It doesn't have to be a phone call. So if you're deathly afraid of the phone for whatever reason it is, go meet them face to face. Do what you are, again, be you, do what you're really good at. I don't like the phone, but I've had a successful career with building relationships, getting in front of my clients face to face, and that is the way I contact. So if, you know, you hear these training programs that say make 10 calls a day, right? Or X number of calls. I'm saying make 10 contacts a day, whether that's a phone call or a text message that somebody responds to, or a face-to-face meeting, whatever that is, make 10 contacts a day.
Okay. And so the way I look at this one, Matt, is I grade the action. Okay. So I get a little bit more analytical about it. And I'm going to say something that, like, the in-person meeting, going and having coffee with somebody that might potentially be a buyer or making, you know, that's going to be very valuable. And that would be at the top of the pyramid on how you can meet people. And then after that, you're going to have, like, well, I called them and I spoke to them. I sent them a video message or one of those things, right? Those are worth less. So you might have to send 10 emails to equal 1 phone call. You might have to take those 10 phone calls to equal, you know, 1 in-person meeting. So that could be why you're very successful, is because you look at, you want to make 10 contacts with the people, but the actions you're doing most of the time are up top, which is equivalent of 150 phone calls. That's you know what I mean? When you really look at it. So that, yes, that would definitely lead to success if you're doing the highest value stuff just because you like it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's impressive. So we're at 9 o'clock right now. So everybody, so we're going to be completed with our session, but I do think that you have some extra value. So if you have a couple more minutes, I do have some more things I'd like to speak about, but I just wanted to make note that it's 9 o'clock here, and then we'll continue on with a couple of things. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
All right. So tell us about you previously. I mean, there's so many different places that I can go with this as far as your experiences and what you've done. You have a give back program, right? Something along those lines. So you have at some point.
Yeah. So I did at some point.
Yeah.
I owned my own brokerage.
Yep.
Yeah. So
tell me what you did there and what that looked like and kind of why.
So that was huge.
Yeah.
You know, so I started with Keller Williams.
Okay.
Had a great career there. I was team leader for 3 years at the McKinney office. And after about 7 years, I decided, you know, I want to go out on my own. Why am I paying all this into this company? And when I've got all the knowledge, I've been a leader, I've been an educator. I want to go out and build my own company. So Audrey Reed and I started Step Up Realty. And one of the things that was important to us is giving back, you know, going again with that giver's gain, right? So, and it's not the reason we did it. It was just, we felt it was important to make an impact in the community in which we lived. So we started with every transaction, 10% went back to local nonprofits.
Wow.
And that's just what we did. And so over the course of, I think, 4 years or so, we gave over 175,000 or so back to local nonprofits, and made a huge impact. And one of those impacts that just came to fruition 2 weekends ago was an all abilities playground in McKinney.
Okay.
And so this playground was built with funds that were raised from the community. It was like a $9 million project. And we were one of the first private entities that stepped up and gave a sizable donation to that playground. And they had the opening ceremony a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
And to see it come to fruition and the final product and seeing all the kids, whether they had handicaps or disabilities, or if they were kids who could actually run around, it was great to see all of those kids there enjoying that playground that we were able to contribute and help make happen.
Wow.
So those types of things I think are really important, because again, it's not about the money. We make a lot of money as realtors, or at least
we should.
So with that, it's not about the money, it's what the money can do.
Okay.
And that's the philosophy that I come from anyway, is there are people out there who need help. And if I can help out local nonprofits, so like we didn't typically give to the American Heart Association or any national nonprofits. It was more local ones like the Samaritan Inn or Habitat for Humanity, Collin County, or whatever the case may be.
Wow. All right. So that's super impressive, and I thank you for that one. Our niece has some problems with she's missing a femur, and she was born without that, and she has a whole lifetime challenge that she's going through, and she gets a lot of assistance from the Scottish Rite. And this seems like a place that she should know about, in the fact that she can go over there.
Definitely.
She has troubles adjusting because she has some differences, and she would probably feel very safe when there's other kids there doing different things.
Yeah.
So
it's in Bonnie Wink Park at Virginia and Hardin.
Okay. All right. Virginia and Hardin. Amy, if you can write that down and give that to Lisa, that would be awesome because I'll forget it. But I think that would be really good for her. Thank you very much. And you also know Brandon.
I do know.
You know Brandon longer than us. So
yeah. So
tell us about that.
That's interesting. So back in 2015, when I was president of CCAR, we had, I forget what it was. It was a networking event or a board of directors meeting or something. And Brandon showed up. And he showed up early, as Brandon does. And so.
Was he wearing flip-flops?
I think he was.
Yeah, probably so. Okay.
So, no, I don't know. He had just started in his profession as a loan officer, loan originator. And so I walked up to him and shook his hand, introduced myself, and I sat next to him, and there was an introduction or something, and I was recognized as the CCR president, and he looked over at me and she's like, whoa, hello. So, and I was looking for a loan officer at the time. And so I told him, I said, I'll give you a chance. And so I did, and he's still my guy. 4 years later, we also own a property management company together. And it's just, he's an amazing guy, someone who I trust implicitly. And I learned so much from him every time we interact. And so if you aren't using Brandon, you need to, or at least giving that chance like I did, and you'll be very, very impressed.
Yeah, no, so he's our guy, and he's the guy that we highly recommend. We put him up on our website. We do all those things. We have him interact. We appreciate every time that he gets to do a transaction with us.
Yep.
And when we first got introduced to him, Shauna met him at some event, kind of same thing, right? So similar thing, and she comes back and she's like, hey, I met this guy and he's pretty good, and he works with Matt Hilton. And I was like, oh, all right. And so you kind of vetted him for us, and it helped me bring my guard down and be like, well, okay, fine. And we're looking for a person at that point, and we put him in there, and he edged everybody else out without, trying just being him. So that's interesting. All right.
Yep.
So that's very good. And then Audrey as well works with you, right?
She did.
Yeah.
So about a year ago, I made the decision to join RE/MAX. And when I did that, Audrey was not ready to move from Century 21. So when that happened, our team of Step Up Realty that we had at Century 21, because that's where we went after Step Up, she stayed.
Oh.
And so it was a hard decision to relinquish my part in Step Up because of all the good that we had done together.
A lot.
And so, but that decision was made. She still has the company, and she's doing really well. She's had a fantastic year.
Good.
But yeah, so I'm just on my own and just doing my own thing, and as I'm managing and being the education director.
So we have a program here that we ask everybody to kindly donate to with TreePack, and legally we can't require anyone to donate to it, but we highly, highly recommend and suggest and check and verify that donations are made on an annual basis by each of the agents. And you would also endorse that, right?
Oh, most definitely. I've been a major investor for I don't know how many years. And that means $1,000 or more a year given to TreePack. So
wait a minute.
What?
Say that again.
A major investor is $1,000 or more a year given to TreePack. So it's interesting because you're inducted in different Hall of Fames. So there's a $25,000 Hall of Fame, there's a $50,000 Hall of Fame, and many people within our organization have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and organization meaning CCAR, and even staff like Mary Leidy, and
Wow.
she has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. So when you understand what TreePack does and you see the impact that it makes, not only on our industry, but on people's lives that we help and we serve every day, then that's when I think that when you find that connection to something, that's when you start really giving. Like I found a connection to Habitat for Humanity. I'm president for the next 8 days. And that is something that I have a passion about, is helping others get that foot up and that help, because don't know if you know it or not, Habitat doesn't just give people houses. They have to qualify. They have to put in sweat equity to help build the house. They have to do all this stuff in order to have the opportunity to buy a Habitat home.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things, I'll just mention this real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Habitat, one of the ways that we raise money is through the restore. And I think a huge disconnect between Habitat and the realtor community is the restore.
Okay.
Because I don't think enough realtors realize that when you have a client who is selling a home and they have furniture or a refrigerator or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that they want to get rid of, donate it to the restore, get the write-off, and when the restore resells that piece of furniture or that appliance, that money goes to build a Habitat home. So it's, to me, it's something that we could really capitalize on if we helped Habitat get that message out to the realtor community.
Okay.
Look, we've got a restore in Plano and we've got one in McKinney.
Mm-hmm.
And so that could service.
I've been to the one in
Anywhere
Plano.
where-
I haven't been
where
to the
people are.
McKinney one. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do a quick video with you since we have Courtney here this morning, talking about the restore and Shauna and you, and we can do that. We can put that in because that would go best for a seller who's looking to move,
Mhm.
and it would help us declutter those homes because
Yeah.
there's probably a lot of stuff that we'd like to get out of there.
Most definitely. And any of your buyers too.
Mhm.
If they're looking for, maybe they don't have the budget to go buy something new, so they want to go buy something used. The restore has great furniture. I mean, I go there and I shop for our staging company, and it's like I go there and I get all of this stuff, and it's like pennies on the dollar. I mean, they have sales all the time. It's like a consignment store. If you've been to a
Mhm.
furniture consignment, that's what it's like.
All right, so that's going to also save another problem of people going out right before they close and going to Nebraska Furniture Mart and buying all this stuff on credit.
Yeah.
And they're like, what did you do? You
Right.
weren't supposed to do
Right.
that. So
Right.
that's something also, don't allow your clients to do that. I'm sure Brandon tells them, but you
Sure.
need to remind them, don't buy a new card. Don't
Yeah.
go buy new furniture. Just chill. You can go to the restore. You can work on that just after you're done.
Yeah.
But let's close that transaction first.
And flooring is one of our biggest sellers. So get this, Home Depot and Lowe's donate like brand new items to the restore. You would think that Home Depot and Lowe's are like our competitors,
Right.
but they're not. So they donate extra supply to us, and
Okay.
our biggest seller is flooring. Like, the engineered hardwoods.
Yeah.
You can go there and buy pallets of the hard that's never been used, of course,
Right.
and it's great prices, and that's what our biggest seller is flooring.
Wow. Okay. So I did not know that. You
Yeah.
brought up a lot of great points today, Matt. And we just hit you with we're 13 minutes over.
Sorry.
But no, that's totally good because you brought knowledge. We'll talk as long as you can bring some amazing knowledge like that. So that's great.
I'm just about out.
Yeah, no, you're out. Matt is out of knowledge.